My name is Josh Friedman. I'm a journalist and a marketer, and I have been living internationally since I arrived in Sofia, Bulgaria, right here, almost 8 years ago. It's my first time back in Sofia in almost 3 years after having lived in Sofia, or at least been based in Sofia for more than 4 years, and then spent pretty much all of COVID, or the past 2.5 to 3 years, outside of Sofia and outside of Bulgaria. And now that I'm back, I thought it would be an excellent opportunity to revisit the topic not only of being based in Sofia, but of home bases in general, and get into a bit of my thoughts on the value and the purpose of having a home base or home bases, and contrast some of the different home bases that I have had. So, as I mentioned, I was based here in Sofia, Bulgaria for a little more than 4 years. Early on in that span, I spent the majority of my time actually here in Sofia, not traveling, although I did travel quite a bit. But then as those years progressed, I spent less and less time in Sofia and more time on the road. And to me, that was the biggest privilege, and that was the biggest asset of having a home base and having a place like Sofia as my home base, because it allowed me to have a lifestyle based around travel. If you select a home base like Sofia, where the cost of living is relatively low compared to, let's say, the city where I'm from, Los Angeles, California, then it makes it much easier to afford travel and to be able to spend a lot of time, if you so desire, to be traveling outside of the location in which you're based and coming back and forth, if that's something that, like me, you desire to do. In the years since, or in recent years, I've been based in LA as well as in Istanbul, Turkey, very close to here, and in Zanzibar, Tanzania. A couple of those are much different locations. Zanzibar, obviously, totally different feel, totally different location, totally different setting than Sofia. Istanbul has a lot of similarities to Sofia, and you can easily get back and forth between Istanbul and Sofia. However, one is a city of about 20 million people, and one is a city of less than 2 million people. And there are definitely cultural differences as well. Los Angeles, a very large city and quite different and a lot more expensive than Sofia. If you're based in Sofia or Istanbul, it's quite easy to travel to many destinations. Istanbul, for a variety of reasons, has been a fantastic home base for me, one of which is it's probably easier to get to and from Istanbul than it is from just about any other city in the world, being that Istanbul is very centrally located. It literally is situated on two continents. The new Istanbul airport and Turkish Airlines allow you to fly to and from basically any destination or almost any destination worldwide. And to me, that is a huge asset. And that's something that I prided myself upon being able to do in Sofia, and now even more so in Istanbul. The cost of living in Istanbul and in Turkey have been quite low, or let's say relatively low in recent years, thanks to the devaluation of the Turkish lira. Here in Sofia, the currency for now is the lev. It's pegged to the euro at about 2 to 1, about 2 lev to 1 euro, and Bulgaria is planning on adopting the euro, which I would assume would make things more expensive when that happens. But nonetheless, for different reasons, both Sofia and Istanbul are examples of home bases, which at least in 2022 are quite affordable and quite centrally located. Los Angeles is not as centrally located. It's on the west coast of the United States. It's a very desirable city, has been a very desirable city for decades, if not longer at this point. People had in their minds the desire to live the American dream, the California dream, to move to Hollywood, to experience Beverly Hills, Santa Monica, Malibu, all the famous areas within and around LA. To me, I've been more interested in getting away from that, getting away from the high cost of living. And in recent years, people have become very frustrated with the amount of homelessness in LA, the increase in crime in LA, and just the general lack of affordability and desirability of Los Angeles. It's been decreasing in recent years. People have been moving out for various reasons. The tax burden, to some people, the regulatory burden, for a whole variety of reasons, several of which I've already mentioned. There's been a trend within the US to move outside of California, to leave LA, to move elsewhere in the country. But I like to approach having a home base, or having a home bases, with a very global mindset. And something that's been, I'd say, a change in my mindset as I view a home base or home bases since I was based in Bulgaria and where I am right now, is that I like to diversify. And COVID and everything that's come with COVID, whether it be lockdowns, travel restrictions, vaccine requirements that some people may approve of, other people may hate, and what's happened economically and what's happened with the livability of various areas over the past couple of years, all of that's been reason to me to diversify. And I've been trying to do that over the past couple of years. I don't want to have all my eggs in one basket. Sofia, to me, especially in summer season as it is right now, is a very desirable place to be. If it gets too hot for you, you can head on over to the Bulgarian coast, which has got a bunch of beautiful and fun beach destinations. But I just don't want to have all my eggs in one basket. I don't want to have all my eggs in the Sofia or Bulgaria basket. I don't want to have all my eggs in the Istanbul or Turkey basket. I really want to diversify, and I like to find different places that complement one another. So as I have my setup right now, I've been spending my winters in recent years in Tanzania and mostly in Zanzibar, where you have totally different seasons. It's summer there when it's winter here, and vice versa. Over there, you don't really have to deal with winter conditions in general, but for me, the winter here in Bulgaria, and to some extent in Turkey and Istanbul as well, it just gets too cold for me. And I really appreciate being able to get away, be based in Zanzibar in the winter, in some other seasons as well. It's a very desirable place to be. Tropical climate it is a tropical climate year round, and it's a very desirable climate almost all year round in Zanzibar. And obviously being in sub-Saharan Africa or being on tropical islands, much different lifestyle. You have much different economic climate, political climate. I love having that diversity of choices, and I love being able to explore different investment options, different residence options, different lifestyle options in different places. And that's been a big way in which my mindset has shifted since my years being based here in Sofia. I still think that Sofia is very desirable for a bunch of reasons, but I just wouldn't want to have all my eggs in that one basket. And my view of home bases has shifted to the point where I really, really value having more than one of them.